definitely true that it takes a while to kind of get to.
So again, S1mba, congratulations, incredible success. On the world's best music chart, which is a feature I have on Good Hope, we play some of the best and biggest charting music, most popular music from some of the most influential music scenes in the world. One of those is, of course, the UK music scene in the Western world, in the English-speaking world. And Rover just exploded, and I immediately thought, I don't know anybody on this track. This is so exciting. This is fresh talent making top 3, which doesn't happen often. And then I found out that you're from Zimbabwe, which is incredible because it feels like it's our part of the world representing hard. And then I found out that you were in Harare when or at least in rural Zimbabwe when it exploded, and only when you got back to England did you find out you were a superstar. How did that happen?
Yeah, it was crazy. So obviously I released Rover like early November. And then like late November, I went to Zimbabwe for holiday. I always go every year, and I was there for the whole month. So I wasn't really checking my phone. And then the day that I got back, I was at the airport. I turned on my phone was just pinging off, and there was just loads of people messaging me going, yo, have you seen what's going on? Like, because everyone knew I was out of the country. So they were like, yo, like, have you seen what's been going on? Like, you haven't been replying to our messages. Like, dude, like, your song was going mad. Like, it was crazy. Yeah, it was an amazing feeling, man.
Why do you think it popped off? Because I know that there's songs that bubble and there's songs that are slow, but what do you think massive explosion after a month and a half or so?
I'm not really sure. Like, obviously, like, the TikTok kicked in straight after, but at this point when I come back, TikTok hadn't really done its thing yet, but like, the song was already getting so much like love from people. I'm not really sure what they love so much. Like, I just like, when I make music, I just like to make music that I enjoy, and hopefully other people enjoy it as well. So I don't know, I just kind of came to the realization that maybe like it's just one of them songs that I feel like basically in the UK there's like different genres, and like the song Rover, I'll call it basically Afro swing. And for a while there hadn't been like a big Afro swing song within the UK. So I feel like it was the first time people hearing it, and it kind of different to what they were used to. I'm not really sure. Like, I've always kind of just tried to sit down and like justify why people love the song so much, but I don't know. Maybe they just really enjoyed it. It's been crazy, though.
And man, people do love the song. Just before the weekend, it's 126 million streams on Spotify, a viral TikTok challenge. And we in South Africa particularly now know what a viral TikTok challenge can do, because Jerusalem from Master KG and is universal, which is wild.
Crazy.
But I'm really interested to ask just 2 questions about what you just said. The first one is you making music for yourself. Now, I love it when artists say that, but then I go, did you know how big this song might be? When you were recording it, did you have a feeling in your chest like this is really powerful stuff?
I honestly didn't. Like, I'm one of them people that scrutinizes my music like over the top. Like, I'm too, so like when I first made Rover, like the rest of my team were going like, whoa, like, what the hell, this is hard. And I was there going, yeah, okay, cool. Like, it might be like a million, like, it might do a million or like whatever, like.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I would be lying if I should expect it to get to where it has. I honestly didn't expect it.
Yeah. And I mean, what a weird way to discover that you had your jump off, man. You get to the airport and your phone just suddenly acting like a snake or something in your pocket, losing its mind. What did you think was the matter? Did you think maybe people thought you were missing or something when your phone was losing its mind? Like, you must have thought people were panicking.
Yeah, I didn't. I can't lie. Obviously, because Rover was doing quite well before I left, I kind of had an inkling that a lot of the messages I was getting, but I honestly just thought it was because I've been away for so long. Messages have built up, like people have just kind of like, they just stacked up. But then like, because at first it was like 2 pings, and then it pinged like, I think I heard like Snapchat or something ping like 100 times in the space of like a second. I was just like, okay, yeah, this is not normal. Something's actually up. But I honestly, I didn't even know that what was going on. It was crazy.
Yeah. And I know that all artists dream about the moment when they get their serious first explosion, their serious first jump off, and yours was in an airport. What did it feel like? Did you expect, was it the way you imagined it would be, I guess?
No, like because like you said, I've imagined like it happening so many times. Like since I was a child, I've had like dreams and like different ways like that I thought like, oh, this is gonna happen. But like it's one of them where you just never know. I think with music, you actually just never know. Like, which is why I say that I have to continue to make music that I enjoy, because the minute you stop doing that, like I feel like it becomes about something else. But because I make music I enjoy, I never think about it as, oh, I'm trying to make a hit record, or I'm trying to, it's just, if I enjoy it, then hopefully the people that listen enjoy it. And yeah, I feel like that's my formula, definitely.
Sure. So tell me about the Muler challenge then, because then you were taking names and your record was exploding everywhere, but then TikTok got a hold of it and it jumped off in a way that we, I guess, hadn't seen up until even that point.
Yeah. It was crazy. So obviously, like, I was in Zimbabwe. When I went to Zimbabwe, I linked up with my cousins from Australia.
Yeah.
They came to Zimbabwe at the same time. So obviously, when we all left to go back to like where we were going, they left and went back to Australia with Rover. And literally the same week that we got back, somebody from one of my cousins' areas must have gone ahead and made the original dance to Rover, to the Muler challenge. And obviously me and my team noticed it within like a few days. We were like, okay, this is sick, like this is actually sick, we should make it like a whole thing. So straight away we went to my record label, we went to everyone, we were like, yeah, let's make this a whole thing. We made a video, we got all of our boys, we made a video, we contacted the same people, we got them to make a whole mob video, and yeah, before you knew it, the whole challenge was just all over TikTok. Like, people just kept making more and more videos, and before you knew it, people from Fiji were making videos, people from like Switzerland, like Poland, everywhere you could possibly imagine, I was getting some videos. It's just amazing.
And we were saying that TikTok has allowed anybody to now be a creator in a way that allows you to pop off all over the world. Even just one sort of like random people are now creating superstar moments. And I think that must have been really cool, because in a weird way, coronavirus has prevented you from getting one of the coolest parts of popping off, which is becoming a big name. Suddenly people recognize you in the street, you're in the clubs, you're rapping, you're hearing people spin your name, you're hearing people play remixes in bars and at parties and whatever. But because of streaming, but particularly because of social media and TikTok, you were able to see millions of people in countries around the world that you may never even go to in your lifetime loving your product.
Exactly. That's why, like, it's just amazing, like the feeling of somebody from a country that you never even thought you'd like, even like, do you know what I mean? It's just crazy, like, for them to message you telling you like they love the song, and like they did the TikTok challenge with like their mom or like their auntie. Like, it's just crazy. It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's so cool. So I want to talk a little bit about your come up, because your come up musically is so interesting. So born and raised in Zimbabwe, I think you were there until the age of 9. Your father's this wildly talented horticulturalist gardener, which I think in its own right deserves to be an interview and a story I should talk about. And you guys moved countries because he's so good at gardening. And you end up in England. And I guess your musical journey is super interesting, because you start off in the land of Oliver Mtukudzi and some amazing Afro jazz and all kinds of different beautiful, I guess what maybe Westerners would call like our own version of soul or R&B, but in a very African way. And then you end up in England, which has got garage and it's got EDM and it's got rock. And you move through the church, if I understand. How did you end up where you are? Like, how do you package all of that?
I don't really know that. I was just kind of, I feel like with all the influences that, everything that I've kind of gone through, everywhere I've lived, and like all the stuff that I've been through and the music I've listened to, I feel like everything has played a part into influencing like who I am and the music that I make today. So like I feel like I've listened to some of my songs where I've heard it and I've gone, that sounds very jazzy, or that sounds very like gospel, or like it's just kind of like you can hear the influences of certain stuff, but when I'm doing it, it's so like subconscious, I don't even realize. But I feel like every single little thing I've lived or I've been through has influenced me one way or another to be like making the music I am today and being who I am today.
Yeah, man. So you were saying a little bit earlier that you thought that maybe people loved Rover because it had a very, I guess, Southern African energy in it. And they found that fresh, especially, I mean, because during the lockdown, I think we were going a little bit insane and looking for something new.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that there's a big market for this kind of energy if you keep it going in the UK and in Europe, for this kind of like Southern African Zimbabwean sound that is inflected and mixed with a lot of their stuff?
Definitely, like it's crazy because I've been going around and I'm hearing a lot more people like even play like South African house, and like I feel like the sound is just becoming more recognizable. Like I feel like for a while, like the staple of African music and like the foundation was off Western Africa, and I feel like now the rest of the world is finally starting to take in just the different vibes. Like I feel like it's all like it's all kind of similar, but the vibes is just different. Like, and I feel like the rest of the world is definitely starting to take in the whole southern vibe and the whole it's just crazy. But hopefully just keep growing, man.
So most artists, when they get their pop off, hit the clubs, hit the circuit, try to get as much PR and media and exposure as possible. And I guess a few parts of that are possible during COVID. But I imagine for you, you're trying to figure out now what to do, because you can't go and do a mass promotion of performances.
Yeah.
And yet you've had your big pop off moment. What have you been spending your time on?
I've just been recording, man. Like I think literally I look at the whole COVID situation as the best thing in disguise, because the whole time I was just able to, I went home as soon as COVID proper kicked in. I left London and I went back to Oxfordshire to my parents' house, and I was there for like 6 weeks. And the whole 6 weeks I was just recording, man. Just constantly recording. Like I would have my mom banging on my door, like wondering, yo, you're making noise, I'm trying to sleep. I just recorded so much music, and I feel like I'm at the point where I'm comfortable with the quality and the amount of music I've made. So I'm definitely happy with COVID. Definitely allowed me to just concentrate just focus on my craft.
It's funny how parents will never stop being your parents, even when you got 126 million streams. They tell you to be quiet. Becoming a superstar, and they're like, we're trying to sleep.
Yeah, man.
So I think it was Miles Davis who said, it took me many years to sound like myself, which is a really, really beautiful idea musically. But
so true.
But you're 21. How did it happen so quick?
I think it's because of how early I started music. Like I feel like I started music at an age where it was still a hobby to me. Like it still is now, but like when I started it, just like the same way other kids were playing PlayStation, I was playing around with my keyboard and my piano and my computer, trying to just learn new stuff. So like I feel like all of that and my excessive amount of like just listening to music, it just kind of played a part in just kind of, I don't know, just being where I am today. Like it's definitely true that it takes a while to kind of get to.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, got you. It takes a while.
It's taken a while for me to kind of get to the point where I am today. But it's one of them cases where it's not really training. You just kind of have to just keep going, and like you will get to a point where you're comfortable. Like, if you listen to the first song I ever released to now, the difference is amazing. I was listening to it the other day and I was like, wow, I've actually improved. And like, but I never realized I was doing it. It's just one of those things where if you keep going, you just kind of hear like improvements in your voice and all that. It's crazy.
Well, I'm extremely excited for you to end up in Cape Town to perform when this COVID madness is over, because I'm sure the people are going to be there for you, brother. Have you been before?
Nah, definitely. Yeah, I've been to South Africa. I used to go to South Africa a lot when I was living in Zimbabwe, so I've been there like 2 or 3 times, I think. Cool. But I'm definitely excited just to come back out, just vibe, man, meet everybody and just have a good time. Man.
It'll be huge. Well, S1mba, I just want to say lastly, obviously it's an incredibly difficult time in Zimbabwe. We're seeing all of the news and we're talking about a lot in South Africa, and I just want to wish all your loved ones, your friends and family members who are in Zim well right now, because it's obviously a very scary time, and I hope that they remain safe.
No, thank you. Like, I continue to just pray for Zimbabwe, man. Like, the whole situation is crazy. Like, really, truly, something that's been happening for a while, and it doesn't really always get televised. Like, there's always other stuff that's just kind of. So I'm kind of happy that the world is kind of taking notice, but I feel like it goes past showing awareness. I feel like it's time for us to just actually start to get stuff done. But yeah, like it's crazy. And just send my prayers to everybody out there. Just hopefully everyone stays safe.
Well, Well, S1mba, championing Southern Africa and Zimbabwe to the world and beyond.
Yeah.
Fantastic music. So excited to hear your next record, and thank you so much for joining me, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Honestly, appreciate it.
Gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. Good Hope